Thanks to ECOVACS for sponsoring this video. One of the difficult things about new technologies is sometimes it's hard to figure out when to buy something. You know, the new thing is always around the corner. When is it safe? And with robot vacuum systems, I feel like we were in, at least for a while, that cycle. There was new things every single day, so it's kind of hard to decide when to spend your hard-earned money on it. But I think we've reached the point now where buying one of these makes a ton of sense. And what you are getting is about as good as it gets. And that is no clearer than what we have here from ECOVACS, the DEEBOT T30S AI. This is packing pretty much every single feature, and it does it at the top of its class. So if you're in the market for one of these, this might be the one. So when looking at these and deciding which one to buy, for me, there are a few key things I keep in mind. And really for me, it's that it does great at mopping, vacuuming, and that it's pretty much hands off for the most part. I don't want to think about this thing. I just want it to do its job and do its job well. Otherwise, honestly, I would just do it myself, right? That's kind of the whole point here. And well, that's where the DEEBOT T30S AI excels, because it does pretty much all of those at the top of its class, like I said, and you're not really missing out on anything. And I think one of the places that has really seen the most innovation lately is on the mopping side. The vacuum, I'll talk about in a second, but those have been great for a while. And this, again, is doing really well. But on the mopping, this is where you get a lot. Now, there's a few different philosophies when it comes to a mopping system. There's one which is basically using like a roller mop. It's basically like a brush that spins. Or you can use what you have here, which is dual mopping heads that spin independently of each other. And they're able to put strong downward pressure to make sure it cleans effectively, and they can spin at 180 revolutions per minute. So it's spinning quickly, it's putting a lot of force, which equals a really good clean. But one of the downsides of a robot mop like this is making sure it can get into every single nook and cranny, because sure, it can clean the middle of the floor, no problem, but as you get to those corners, what's the solution? And this is using true edge mopping technology. And basically what that does is extend the mop heads outwards so that it can get into those corners. This makes the cleaning just significantly more effective, because otherwise there would be a small sliver where these just wouldn't reach because of how it is designed. But with that swing out, it's able to get into those corners, into those edges, and it works really well. And another place where this comes in handy is with, furniture legs. That's another area where getting right up to them has always been difficult, but because these can extend out, they can go around a, table leg, a chair leg, and clean right up to the edge. It's really effective. And with this technology, another thing that this helps with is being able to clean better on different surfaces. So here I have LVP flooring, which is pretty easy to clean, but this would also work on hardwoods or tiles. And because of the amount of pressure it can push and the rotation, you're gonna get an effective clean no matter what the surface is. And it just, again, takes that worry out of when it is mopping. I'm not worried that I'm gonna go back and it seems like it didn't clean at all. It can clean into the corners, clean the middle of the floor, and it does it very well. Now, on the other end of the spectrum is the vacuuming side, and this is equally as important, and it's actually what I run most often on these, because I find dust and debris gather more commonly than needing to mop. So I mop about once a week, but I vacuum pretty much every single night. I schedule that in the app, which I'll talk about in a second. But when it comes to a vacuum, this has everything you're looking for. The most important thing, at least to me, is suction. This has 11,000 pascals of suction, which is on the higher end that you can find on a robot like this. So that means it's going to pick up hair, debris, dust, all of that with no issues. And it also means it's going to be able to pick up slightly bigger pieces of debris, like say rice or bigger dirt clumps, or just things that maybe my dog tracked in. It's able to pick those up too. So that is great. But one issue is that these always seem to get tangled with hair. I live with my wife and there's hair everywhere. I don't know what to do about it, but it's just a fact of life at this point. But this has zero tangle technology built in. And essentially what that means is there is a comb that is able to go through the roller brush that is built into the vacuum system, so that when hair is there, it can kind of, comb it out. And as soon as that happens, it is then sucked into the dustbin. So theoretically, you're not going to have nearly as many tangles with this system. And I have to say that is true. It's not something I have to constantly be checking on, which again is kind of the whole point of these systems. I shouldn't have to think about it. But this system as a whole is great because, again, like with the mop, it can give you a better and more effective clean in more areas. So yes, on this LVP flooring or hardwood or anything like that, super easy to pick up dust and debris. But with this extra suction, it's able to clean your carpets effectively too, which a lot of these, if they don't have the right amount of suction, it's obviously not even worth vacuuming your carpets because it's just not really doing anything. But with this, it actually is giving you an effective clean, and you can notice the difference. And what's great is that you can do both vacuuming and mopping at the same time because it's able to lift those mop heads out of the way. So you can clean your entire place at once. You don't have to set it to mop and then set it to vacuum, or although you could do that, but you don't need to. You can set it to just do both all the time. And that just gives you a more clean feeling home to know that it has been mopped, it has been vacuumed, not only on the hardwood or tile, but also on the carpets. It's a nice feeling. Now, powering all of this is where that AI in the name comes in, because this has AI built in, and that makes sense in a product like this. You want it to be able to detect what is going on in the world around it so that it can more effectively clean. Now, there's a few ways that this AI is put into action. So there is an AI instant remop feature, there is an AI camera, there's AI stain recognition, and there's AI obstacle avoidance. So a lot of these make sense. So like AI obstacle avoidance, it needs to be able to see what's in front of it, recognize it so that, it doesn't run into your shoe and get tangled with the, shoelace, or it doesn't eat some wire that you accidentally left. It can detect those things and make sure it goes around it and doesn't get close to it. And, that works for furniture in different areas. It knows what it is seeing. And similarly, it can see what kind of stain is on the floor, so it can adjust its cleaning methods accordingly. And let's say it, started cleaning an area, but it didn't fully get it. That's where AI can recognize that it needs to remop that area to give it an even deeper and better clean. And it does this by increasing the water flow, and it can clean the area up to 3 times, so that really, if there's something really stuck on there, it should be off by the time this is done. And one of my favorite things is that with the AI camera built in, it drastically reduces the amount of times that this will get stuck, again, leading to me having to interact with it, which is kind of not what I want to do. So the AI is putting in work here to not only give you better cleaning, but also just giving you better convenience, because I know it's not going to be stuck in a corner when I wake up in the morning. Now, once this is done cleaning, both vacuuming and mopping, it goes back to the base station, which this has everything inside that you need. So this has your clean water tank, it has your dirty water tank, it has a 3-liter dust bin for your vacuum, and this is also where it will clean and dry the mop heads so that they are clean for the next use, but also they don't smell because they're developing mildew and mold. It dries them off, and it uses hot water cleaning, so it can go up to 70 degrees Celsius. So that just gives you a better clean of those mop heads, which, if you're using cold water, it just takes longer, it takes more water, more effort. So this makes sure that for the next time when you want to mop, it is clean and ready to go. So yeah, the T30S AI is in the family of DEEBOT vacuums that offer a bunch of utility and function. And if you're looking for a product like this, this is kind of the time to jump in and buy. I'll leave links down below for everything here so you can get discount codes or see what the latest price is, or just learn more about it. That'll be linked down below. But like I said, these robot vacuums have increased in capability so quickly and so much, but now if you're waiting to buy, this is the time to do it.